this is Dark Soul from Videogames.net. Now it's been like 30 years since I did last video, but I barely collect now. I collect, but there's such a huge crisis in Russia and the currency was less than horse shit, so it's really problematic to collect now. So I decided that instead of showing new games that I got, and I barely got anything, I'd better do a sealed guide. It's been terrible amount of posts and pictures and forum threads and on many forums about different seal types and regional releases, but all those pictures, all the posts, I think that I better make a video, one video for each region, for each console, and I just show you how to detect seal, the right seal, and to detect reseal, and what's the difference, how to detect fake. I'll start with the easiest one, with Super Nintendo and North American, Canadian and games. I'll show you how to detect a proper sealed North American game. First of all, what you should look for. Here's an example of factory sealed game. First of all, you should watch for this vertical seal. 99.9% of all American games should have this vertical seal. Only very few releases, most likely Majesco re-releases. Majesco, as far as I can remember, is a regional Mexican distributor of Nintendo, and Majesco games had no vertical seal. Best example, if you look for Castlevania 4 for Super Nintendo, Majesco release doesn't have vertical seal, but it's still legit. It's just less desirable, it's less expensive, it's much less rarer than the North American version of Castlevania 4. I don't have Castlevania 4 original release, unfortunately, nor do I have a Majesco release. And the second game that comes to my mind without the vertical seal is Robocop vs Terminator. North American box is a very strange box. It's kind of rigid plastic, completely black. It's just a shrink wrap all over. It doesn't have a vertical seal on back, but it's still legit. But let's come back to the majority of SNES games. So first thing is vertical seam. It starts from the top and goes right to the bottom. It can be straight, it can be not very straight, it doesn't matter, but it should be on the shrink wrap. Second spot that you should look for is the overlapping on top and bottom of the box. That's where the seam starts, here. It should overlap just a little here and on the bottom as well. However, some boxes have no overlapping, and it doesn't mean that they are fake. I will show you an example. Here is another sealed game. It's Uncharted Waters. It absolutely has no overlapping here. It just got almost straight perpendicular here, but it's still legit. Absolutely legit game. Absolutely. It just doesn't have overlapping seal. Overlapping here. No, nothing. But it's still legit. So it's not 100% proof that it's legit or fake. Another spot that you should look for is roller marks. What are roller marks? It's very hard to show, but I will try my best. Here, when the sealing machine at the factory does the job, I think it's kind of maybe moves the game, moves the plastic on it, and it just a roller goes here down from top to bottom, and it leaves vertical marks next to the seam here. One roller marks on the left, one on the right. It's some kind of a rubber scratch on top of the seal. It's a very, very, very important mark of proof that this is a legit factory seal and not some seal job. This is one of the most important marks, roller marks. I'm not sure you can see them here, but they are here. Okay. You know, but there are still games that can be sealed differently. I don't know what it depends on, but most likely cheaper games were sealed worse than the more expensive ones. I'm not so sure, but here is an indoor way of the Ninja from Korea. This is North American release as well. As you can see, the overlapping seam here is pretty huge, and it overlaps from the bottom and it goes here, and the vertical seam here is pretty weird, and it has no roller marks here and here. The seam on the top is also very huge. It overlaps from top to the mid section here, but it's still a legit game as well. It's still a legit game. It's just a beat up copy of mine that's not in the best condition, but it's still legit. So that means that overlapping seems that they can just be a little huge, a little big here, and just come from here top bottom and overlap back to the middle. And the vertical seam it just cannot be really straight, it just be like this. But the most important thing that you should look for, and this is how I can tell that this is legit as well, it's vent holes. Vent holes are small holes. Now they are lined here from top to bottom, and they go all the way across the box, all the way across the box here, lenticular. Vent holes are really microscopic, less than millimeter holes. Sometimes they are a little more than that. They are made in the factory prop, so that when the machine drops the game, the pressure pushes the air from under the rope and outside, so that there are no bubbles, and the game just not like a bubble. So the vent holes are made only at the factory. It's pretty much impossible to fake those without damaging the box, with some kind of a needle. It's absolutely impossible to fake those. They are made on the rope, on the factory rope, not on the game and not on the roping process. It's exactly on the factory rope. First comes the game, then there's a rope on it, and then the machine starts sealing them. So it's impossible to fake those microscopic holes on the rope. And the most common fakes on eBay are those without the vent holes. No, you can fake the seam. I've seen 1,000 fakes with the seams. With the vertical seam is incredibly easy to fake. Overlapping can be worse or better, but it's also incredibly easy to fake. These seams, these are all easy. The top seam and the bottom is easy to fake. It's really hard to fake the roller marks, but these ones. But not all games have those. Absolutely not of them. For example, this is Wizardy 6, Wizardy 5, part of the Maelstrom, and there's a very faded roller marks, basically non-roller marks. So it's not a thing to look for, to detect. It's a good point, but it's not 100%, so vent holes are your best friend. Ask the seller if it has vent holes. If it doesn't have vent holes, it's a fucking fake. Also, the most common thing to look for on a receipt that you can see on eBay is a box condition. The slightest rubbing under the box, the colors, the edges, they can be bent, creased, something like that. That's also a pretty beat up game, but there is nothing, no damage, no edge wear and side wear and anything like that on the sides. It's still a sealed game. It's factory sealed original. I think that those resealer guys they can fake is the box condition itself. You can't fake the box condition. If the game is used, it should have bent edges, bent ribs and sides and everything, and the colors, the everything like that. And the paint should fall off somewhere on the hinges here. If you open the box, the paint falls off and all these the bends appear. And so inspect the box under the rub. It's your maybe best thing you can watch for. You can't really say sometimes you can't really say for sure that there's vent holes on the factory box because the pictures are blurry, and you can't ask the seller for vent holes because maybe he knows he doesn't have them. He won't give you the pictures. So inspect the box condition under the microscope as best as you can. So that's it, guys, for today. I wanted to specifically start with the easiest but the most common fakeable format on eBay. It's the Super Nintendo North American games, and I hope the thing that I said will help you to differentiate the fakes from original factory seal. If you have any questions, just ask me on the forum or in comments on this video. Is there anything you should want to ask? Just do it. Thank you.